Okay, so I'm going to take you through a series of images and I'm going to convert them to black and white using different techniques. As you'll see, when we look at the final images, there certainly will be a big difference in the way the images look. And there just isn't one technique that is the perfect use-all technique for this. So you really have to experiment with the various techniques that I show you here to come up with the best one for any given particular image. So first of all, here we are going to make our black and white conversion right in the Camera Raw, which again, the Camera Raw is the window that opens up before Photoshop opens up if you are using Camera Raw on your camera, which at this point of the semester you should be using Camera Raw. So here is the window that normally comes up, and if you remember, up at the top of the screen here there's a bunch of tabs, and there is a tab called HSL/grayscale that we haven't explored yet. So let's select that one, and in here there is a tab for saturation, and in that saturation tab we can convert an image to grayscale. Grayscale basically means black and white. Now before I make the conversion, you'll notice that there are some sliders here that relate to the very specific colors, so we can target them individually. And we'll work with this yellow slider here, and you notice we've got a lot of yellow in this image. So if I pull that to the left, you can see the yellow becomes desaturated, and if I push that to the right, it becomes hypersaturated. Now what we can do to convert this to black and white is just check this box up at the top here that says convert to grayscale, and then we can work with that yellow to either make it darker in this image, or we can make it really bright. So this is an interpretive action that you are going to have to take as you open up this image. And again, we saw that the shutters here in the original image had a little bit of green or aqua to them. So again, if you kind of play around with these sliders, you'll notice you get some different tonality in there also. So I'm kind of going to play around with it. Maybe have it look a little bit like that. I kind of want to get that separation and tonality up here between the white and the yellow. And I don't think the magenta, there was no magenta in this photograph, so we really won't have any magenta to work with. So at this point I'll just go ahead and hit open image, and once you open that image, you'll find it launches into Photoshop for you. Once you've got this in Photoshop, you have available to you the same adjustments that we did before. So under image, adjustments, levels, we can go in there now and begin to refine this image. And when you get a levels histogram, so this little mountain range here is called a histogram. When you get a histogram like that and you have these kind of gaps on the edges, we always want to pinch them in to really make our blacks and our whites pop in an image. So there is the final product for the first one.